Hello and welcome to Racers Now for the somewhat unusual Thursday night slot with the main man SD. We've also got Harry Fowler with us as well, who you may have seen write in a word or two on oddsnow.com. SD, how are you?
Well, it's great to see the Chettle brothers.
Yes.
You've got a bit of a look of them.
How many winners have you put up today, SD, on the dailies?
Just the one, but we were a bit sneaky, you know. There was 7 runners in a race, and these terrible bookmakers were going 3 places, so we took advantage of that as well at a decent price.
And you didn't do a lunchtime tip today?
No, I did. It lost. You're not supposed to say that.
Oh, okay. Well, it can't all be positive, can it, SD? I mean, with a man like your record, there is usually more positives than negatives. Right. The Cheltenham November 3-day meeting gets underway on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Where are we starting this week, SD?
Well, look, we will discuss in due course Friday, tomorrow morning. I think it is pertinent to point out. I mean, they love naming these storms. I hate it. I mean, it just creates Armageddon, doesn't it? Everybody's gonna die because Britain's gonna flood and all this bollocks, you know. But there's quite a bit of rain forecast tomorrow. Somewhere between Tony Calvin really should be a weatherman, by the way. The amount of time that man puts in, he's like Ian McCaskill. I would go for an inch.
There is going to be a lot of rain. We've been at Cheltenham today. There is some concerns. Put it that way.
Yes.
Right. First race.
It's to do with crossings and things like that, rather than the rudimentary surface.
Yep. Right. What's the first race we're looking at then, SD? Is it the 145 on Saturday? Yep. That's going to be on
the Arkle trial. I just wasn't sure why July Flower was so bloody short. I thought it was a terrible, terrible price. I mean, she wasn't the greatest hurdler. None of these were top class hurdlers. And, you know, she won at 8-15, admittedly on softish ground at Limerick, pretty darn well. But, you know, I don't think the form is anything to get excited about per se. Burdett Road I saw at Kempton just didn't look great in the paddock, I have to say. I'm quite fond of Burdett Road because was arguably the best of these over hurdles. But be aware, you know, Skelton did this last year with Load of Sud. Wasn't far off these over hurdles at all. I thought Stratford was highly satisfactory. Won really well, beating Cerendipity. More on that later. But I'd be fairly happy with Be Aware here at that price.
I'm just going to get you a price. Harry, what do you reckon, 145?
Yeah, I agreed with SD completely, really. I think July Flower, obviously ran in the mares last year, but 5th of 10, didn't really do a hell of a lot. There is Trip. 2 miles 4 has been where she's predominantly done her running. So I do think Be Aware is probably the one. I think Burdett Road, he did jump so poorly at Kempton, and I think that'll be part of the reason why they've gone chasing in the first place, really. Because I mean, what was it? Is he the second in the champion hurdle last year?
Yeah, but you know, that's not great. Sorry, the missus is moving some furniture.
Oh, ideal. Ideal.
I'm moving in due course, dear.
Obviously, the Skeltons are doing really well as well. So, you know, you can never really, if you see one of their horses.
Correct.
Right,
I'd be fairly happy backing. I mean, I was 7-2 earlier on. I thought that was bordering on silly.
Yep. Well, 3 to 1 available, SD.
Worth 3 to 1's fine. I mean, I think it's just worth touching on the Mackison. I did put the Skelton horse up earlier in the week. Look, I think a lot. Yeah, I think a lot depends on how much rain falls. You could make a case for backing Hunter Legend. I'm not going to put him up. I might put him up Saturday morning, but I think there's definitely a case in the conditions for backing Hunter Legend. I was just slightly doesn't have a lot of experience in big fields, but and obviously Venetia's, she's only had Jello win this year, but I thought he might be the other way to play the race. But it looked competitive, but it didn't look exceptional to me.
Yeah, you mentioned that one earlier in the week, SD. What price is Panic Attack now? I'm just
6 to 1.
6 to 1. So that's what. So that's pretty much what you put it up at. Fair enough.
Well, I put it up at 7.
Yes, 1 point win, 7 to 1. 6
So it's
is
not the
pretty
same.
close to 7. Last time I didn't say same. I said pretty close. Last time I looked, 6 was pretty close to 7 when counting. But that's up to you. Right, what else are we talking about? Saturday, SD, 3:30?
Yeah, just touch on the 255. We'll touch on the 255. I think Supremely West will probably win. Second run after a wind up. Surely Skelton will improve it. Loves sucked ground. It's not very original. I think it'll probably win, but I certainly wouldn't be going balls deep at 13 away. I thought this 3:30 on Saturday was mildly interesting, and I think the bet is last Rodeo at a decent price. I thought had absolutely no chance last time. Got absolutely mullered during the race at the 5th flight, and then just made modest progress thereafter. Goes on the ground. I don't think, certainly wouldn't look badly treated off a mark of 118. Has had a spin. Christian had a winner earlier in the week. I think there's quite a bit to like, and Cobden's on. I think 25s is that general or standout?
It was standout, so let me just check that for you now. 25, 20. It is as short as 12, but it's available at 25 to 1 with the biggest supplier in Europe.
Who's the biggest supplier in Europe?
They've got offices in Stoke.
Yes.
I mean, we're not talking about one of the cowboy, last Rodeo. We're not talking about one of the cowboy bookmaker suppliers.
Do one of you want to back that at the same stake I did earlier? As you did earlier?
Yes. I'm running a YouTube channel and a betting service by the sounds of it. Yep, no problem.
No, for yourself, obviously. For yourself.
Yes.
I think that's way too big. I did have a little bit at 28 earlier on today. I think the other one to back in a race, because we do enjoy a double dip here. Nothing like going in again.
Yeah, you absolutely double dip. Dale Nichols will be on to us in the comments about the SD double dips. I think there was almost a record last week, 3 SD double dips on the same weekend.
Yes, I think Kap Boy, who won really well last time at Perth, beat Tread Softly Now. Tread Softly Now won doing handstands at air yesterday. The form stacks up. The ground stacks up. It was borderline heavy that day at Perth. I don't think £9 is punitive for this lightly race, or for the Murphy Yard with Shawnee B doing the steering. I think the point with this race is those two, I thought were priced. Were overpriced, and some of those at the front of the market, particularly Durancon, I think are too short. I can see the case for Friendship, but I thought this was a good betting race, didn't you?
Anything else for you, Harry? Cheltenham Saturday. We skipped past the Paddy Power without asking you.
The Paddy Power.
The
Mackinson.
Mackinson.
Yes, I was pleased to see that Matata wasn't declared, and then Jaguar was top weight, because I feel that is going to be some weight carrying after 247 days off.
Come off it, Harry. The top weight in the Mackinson of 148. That is putrid.
Well, yes, of course, but I mean, it's got to carry 12 stone, and that's all that matters here. And I think that's going to be a difficult task. I am already on Panic Attack. 2 weeks ago, when Dan Skelton in his stable tour said about this has been the plan for a while, and this is where she's going to go. It didn't take long to go and look at, like you've mentioned before, her form, to see basically that they've had this laid out with the way that they had one run with her over chasing, and then just went and had a little go round hurdles to finish off last season. Yeah, I think I've 135. I think that they're thinking that she's going to win here tomorrow. Or Saturday, sorry.
Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, so I think she'll go very well.
Okay.
Anything for you in the Mackinson, sir, or are you dodging it? Harry's still single, by the way. You can find him on various dating apps in the Liverpool area.
Thanks for that update there,
Sexy
SD.
Scousers or whatever it's called. Anyway.
Yeah, okay. No, short answer is no. I'm not had too much chance to look really. Il Rodotto, you tipped last year. I followed you in, but no, I'll probably be going between a combination of what you and Harry have said, or both. But you both like Panic Attack anyway, so it will probably be there. Anything else to mention at Cheltenham before we move on to what SD will call the main meeting of Saturday?
The main meeting of Saturday, I spoke to a friend of the channel literally 20 minutes ago, and he says he's very likely to be at Wetherby, so you know where the value is. So he told me especially to announce this. So we are the BDC marketing service as well. So there you go. You know where a friend of the channel will be. And Louis will be there, who got asked for his number last week at Aintree by some student. Anyway, I think the bet of the weekend's at Wetherby. I think Cerendipity will win. We mentioned earlier, Be Aware beat Cerendipity last time. Back to its last winning rating of 122. I mean, in reality, won a bloody egged spoon race at Newcastle. But there's lots to like about this horse. Trained by Sue and Harvey Smith. I'm aware both of them aren't too well at the moment, which is very sad. And Joe Parkinson obviously is on the license. I thought the run back at Stratford was perfectly solid behind an upwardly mobile horse in Be Aware. I think that probably stands up fairly well. The third that day is subsequently been second at Carlisle on a quick turnaround. I didn't think there was much in the way of the opposition, and crucially won't mind any rain that falls. I thought this horse would be favourite, and he's not.
Yep, take note. SD calls it the bet of the weekend on the back of fancying Last Rodeo quite strongly. He fancies Cerendipity even stronger.
Well, I think it's quality rather than quantity in terms of bets this weekend. We're not going to... I used to like doing the Churchill Stakes, but they've massacred that. Massacred it.
Yes, now on the outskirts of Nottingham. Harry, I'm guessing that you might not looked at Wetherby as yet. Would that be the truth?
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah, I mean, I did sort of look at the 343, and I thought that Izam was probably the biggest danger to Cerendipity, because obviously you've got a lot of horses there that have got a lot to prove in that 343. So yeah, I mean, and when SD says about a horse that strongly, I guess you have to listen, don't you?
Well, you do. You're learning well. I tell you what, your hairline's looking a bit receding tonight. You're hanging around in far too often.
Oh wow! Oh no! How are you going to try and get me a girlfriend and then say my hairline shit on the same video?
Well, we didn't say we were trying. We were just pointing out to our considerable female viewership that you were available.
He's got 20 years on you, my friend. 20 years.
He has.
And there's only two people in this conversation going racing this weekend, and you're not one of them. So there's poor showing really from SD this weekend.
That reminds me, I need to check in with that wretched Ryanair. Yes, and obviously next week it's the Betfair. I think we may have a very special guest on at some point next week.
We'll be doing all runners on the Betfair for the first time this jump season on Monday. All runners will be previewed.
What? Where do you come up with these bloody ideas from?
Grade 1 SD, it's a proper race, Grade 1, at your home track, one of your favourite racers. All runners will be previewed Monday night on Races Now.
Well, we'll do it for the Silly Isles Novice Chase as well in February. That's Grade 1.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Fantastic.
Honestly, I don't know where the marketing department comes up with these ideas from. I think it is
not an SD idea; it's a bad idea. That's the best way to live life.
Correct. Did you know Hitler only had one ball?
What's that got to do with it?
Well, you were implying I was like Hitler. Thankfully, I have two. Anyway, I
don't know what's just happened.
You wait till this recording's finished. You wait. Carry on.
I've forgotten actually.
Carry on.
Anyway, we'll be back next week, won't we? So it is the Betfair. It's obviously I spoke to Nicky Henderson at the weekend, didn't I? Name drop.
Just a name drop. You know, if I ever say that I spoke to, maybe Ryan Moore in the way. Blah, 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 blah,
yes, but it wasn't broadcast. It wasn't broadcast.
SD once spoke to Nicky Henderson, and he thinks he's flipping the new Alistair Down.
No. I was about to say, he said Django Bai is going to run at Ascot. So there you go.
So that means he'll be having a racecourse gallop at Newbury then?
Probably.
Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
Right, any other things to tick off the bingo card, SD, or are we calling it a day?
No, it's only Hexham a week on Wednesday, so we'll sort of embellish that at the time. There's no Wolverhampton next week, for fuck's sake.
There's not.
No Wolverhampton.
I'm aware of that. They do race 3 days the week after. Whilst we've got Harry here, any standout for Friday, Harry? I know you've looked at the card. SD will be covering it on the dailies, no doubt. But while we're here, while you're here,
I'm more interested in Newcastle.
And while you're confirming, SD put up Rock My Way. That's on Sunday, is it, SD? Anti-post?
Yeah, I have a terrible feeling that this could all go spectacularly wrong.
As in, it might not be declared. Well, you'll find out tomorrow morning on that one. Harry's going.
Well, I read Joe Tizard's stable interview. Good God.
Well,
not that I take any notes of them usually.
Don't listen to trainers. You say don't listen to trainers. Right, go on, Harry.
I'd say my best bet on Friday would be in the 220, and that'd be weighed out. I thought did very well to win last time, beating Wendigo, who is a horse that I also think is a very nice horse. That was on chasing debut and never really went a yard and still managed to finish well under a Sean Bowen drive. Goes up in trip, and I think will go very well over the 3 mile 1 furlongs at Cheltenham.
Is it Fav?
Fridays now. Yes, it is.
Yeah, there's the 101 landed. Harry loves an FAV.
Yeah,
maybe he could be your FAV, ladies.
Yes, sounds like Cilla Black now. Right, we'll call it a day there, SD. Thank you very much. I don't know what to say.